I call to order the August 22nd, 2024 meeting of the Parks Board. Suzanne, will you call the roll?
Yes, ma'am. Chairperson Roseanne Gilbert. Here. Vice Chairperson Cody Abney is absent. Board Member Justin Camp is absent. Excuse me. Board Member Becky Denton is present. Board Member Elizabeth Mauer is present. Oh, sorry, I guess I should have answered into that. And Monica, even though you're an alternate board member, because you'll be able to vote.
Yeah, looks like it.
Did you want to say present?
Yeah. Oh, present.
Okay. And Russell Scott is there. You have the forum.
I don't see any public
No, ma'am.
here today, so we will pass over the public comments. And then we need a motion to approve the minutes from the July 18th, 2024 meeting. Do I have a motion? I will motion to approve. Thank you, Elizabeth. Second? Second.
And did you want to roll call vote or did you want to do a show of hands?
I think we can have a show of hands to see if that passes.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Okay.
Next, we have a report from our board liaison, Bob Ember, about the status of the COSAC purchases.
And you also have a handout
Yes,
on it.
most of you have this very expensive handout already.
Number 2.
And if you look at it, just the second page is kind of a summary of all of the rest, pretty much. The only things that we haven't completed at this point are the handicap ramp, the water fountain at Triangle Park. The other things that council talked about at Creekside are things that is not for our board, this board to consider. And then Augusta Park, the things that are still in process are according to this, there's not very much left here. The things that are left are the butterfly garden, which is not going to even occur until sometime this fall. And then the small parts that we talked about that are further down in this, yes, number 5. So we're not going to talk about that now. The part that I also needed to talk about today is for this board to consider the, this is me, council, talking to you, board. The council for the board to consider other things that are in the comprehensive plan that apply to parks. Example, talking about a dog park. That's a part of, it's a park, so therefore it needs to be talked about by Parks and Recreation. It's not for me to tell you what to do, except I'm just directing you by way of the council about each of those other things, that anything that pertains to parks that you would find in the comprehensive plan. So that's for a future agenda, not for today.
Okay, so can we go back? Discuss this. We do have 2 ADA ramps at Creekside.
Yes,
Yes. So what, I'm confused.
one goes into the swing area.
Yes, and then.
One goes in, right, so the only other one that they would consider, if they want to do the same sort of thing, would be one at the back of the playground area. So you can go from the back of the playground area to the swing area.
Oh.
That's all, that's all.
around. The back.
Right. So Jen, you know that area pretty well.
Yeah, no, one thing that City Hall, what I've done is asked our engineer, Freeland and Turk, just to do an assessment of all 3 parks. Just to make sure we didn't miss something or anything's missing. That way we cover all of our sides. And then, So once they get back, their assessment, which would probably be in a week or two. And they're just gonna say, here's the thing, you're either great, no worries, or address, you might address it this way, maybe give us some suggestions, and that would just come back.
Yeah.
To you guys on that. So,
Great.
but we just wanna make sure,
Yeah, that's
with all the great stuff we've done, well, y'all did it, that we're not missing anything, ADA wise, so. With the, like I said, and I'll report that back to Bob, once, or interview when we get it.
And what's the name of the engineering company?
Freeland and Turk, we're just, we're using engineering funds to get them to do that. There's some other things they're gonna do for me, city-wise, but while they're doing that, I wanted to just,
Okay,
take a look, make sure we're covered.
thank you. That's great. That will make, I think, everybody feel better once we know that. Okay, may I ask you to look at this report? I don't quite understand, like Augusta, we decided to eliminate the honeycomb tunnels.
Yeah.
But it says.
This is as of the meeting, if you look at the very top, it'll show you as of which meeting things were as they were removed, as they were added.
A year ago, different for this year.
So-
Okay, on those presentations is what's on that list. That's not your actual spending.
No, I
This
just,
is actually just a history.
wanted to make sure they knew that was some of
It's-
the.
yeah.
Okay,
Once somebody, once they have looked at the very top, they'll realize that it's, March 29th, June 14th, and October 25th, all of 2023.
okay. And the point of this, now, Bob, just go over that with us so you'll all be clear.
I was asked to delineate the deletions and additions over the time that we've been doing these parks.
Okay,
So that it's very clear to them what has been approved to date and what hasn't been approved to date.
okay,
Want to expand on that a little bit?
certainly.
My understanding is because of, I guess mostly it was at the playground that the costs went over because just prices went up, so y'all had to make some changes at Augusta Park.
Mm-hmm.
I think what they're wanting you guys to do is kind of resubmit what you've done. So it's kind of an end around, it's kind of doing it backwards, but propose or present what you've done from the original to what actually happened
Okay,
and what was spent, and kind of, we're asking for approval to do that, we've already done it.
Yeah, yeah.
Just to cover, us with Prozac, I always want to say Prozac.
Oh, yes.
So,
Yeah,
I see that's my third today. So to cover us, they were wanting to action item for you guys saying, here's our changes to our plans. Here's what the costs were. Had to change it because of, costs overran or went up
Yeah.
from the original, over time,
yes,
inflation, so.
yes.
And then they can approve that, it covers us, and then we can.
Okay, we can move.
You have a fresh start, a fresh starting
Starting
point from here, going forward with what we have left.
Right.
So that's what they're, part of what,
And
just to elaborate on what he was
we
saying.
just hope that this clarifies, I believe it does.
Yeah,
Okay,
But, we've left every single nut and bolt are pretty much in here at this point.
right.
There's not anything that I can think of.
thank you, Bob, yes. And so then you'll go over this with them and say what we're not doing and what we are.
Well, and yeah, this is almost self-explanatory,
Okay.
although I will continue to explain as needed.
Yes,
I think, does this go to number 2? We're kind of skipping on those.
Yeah.
Is this 2 or 3? Okay, that's 2. Okay.
So it even has the tiny map that Ruth and, is it Claire or
Claire.
Claire? They worked so hard on, that little map is in here as well,
Yeah,
as the second to the last page of Augusta Park.
Catherine actually drew them.
Catherine, yes.
So 5 is the
timeline.
So Bob, correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding, basically this plan that y'all went to,
Yes.
and then the expenses that were different than what was in the original proposed act, present that as changes for approval from council.
So what we removed was a really big ticket item.
It's on the second page.
The, ADA observation deck was climbing that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's totally taken out. And we went more with a, nature, playscape and garden, educational garden focus thing, which is what the board, the council needs to know.
Yeah,
Am I correct on that?
I remember.
What?
yeah, we put in the stone wall that wasn't there before, that kind of replaced that observation deck, along with, engineered, it's not engineered wood, it's, just mulch, I believe, right behind it.
Right.
As it's almost rustic in the way it is. I wouldn't really expect somebody with a wheelchair to be able to go down there. They might be able to, but it's really rustic down there at that point. Anything above that is ADA compliant with bocce ball and all the rest of it.
So our focus went toward a garden,
We kind of had it already there, but we enhanced it, I think.
well, yeah, and that's what's still not finished.
But it's beginning to really look different. Don't you think?
Yeah, and people are using that little park.
Yes.
And-
I love playing bocce ball, but you know, the trees are kind of in the way of that canopy is, there's some
Little low.
branches that are hanging down pretty low, yeah. Yeah, we've had fun.
Yeah.
What a mess.
And I think we're to the point that y'all have gotten to a point that if trees or something is trimming at this point, we can do that as park maintenance.
Oh, okay.
And get out and get away from this proposed act.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I went through today with Suzanne and went through and double checked the big spreadsheet. I don't know if y'all seen that, it's in your slides.
Yeah, it's under item
But
five.
we dialed in what's been spent, what we got left, what needs, what we kind of committed to. And then, which I'm probably jumping ahead.
Yes, and you're not.
I'm
we're
sure
not
that's
so-
all saying.
Okay, so we'll get to
We can get
that.
there.
So,
We'll get to that as on number 5. Okay.
I'll let you run your meetings.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Bob, and everybody. So, I think now we can move to item 3 on the agenda. Would anyone like to make a motion to accept the liaison report and submit to city council this recommendation to accept the liaison report, as well as the spreadsheet at the very back of 5, which we will look at later, which is accounting of everything, plus our wish list still for Augusta. That's pretty really long, isn't it? Okay.
I want to make sure I understand what we're asking,
Yes.
what we're presenting to the council.
Yes.
And of course, Augusta Park was the park I was assigned to work on and the one that I'm interested in, so that's kind of where I'm going. That the council really understands that we removed that big expensive item and are doing more than one
Yeah.
nature garden, naturally.
So Becky, this is the spreadsheet on 5,
Right,
which will be
you told me
included.
not.
if I,
But I'm
if I could.
Well,
This is again,
You like to
just a summary.
look at it before I can make a motion.
Yes.
This is just a summary of the additions and deletions that we've
Right.
made.
Yes.
And asking council to approve this.
Yes, that's what Bob's report is really,
Oh,
this,
And I
item 2.
would like to point out, if I may, on this page in Bob's packet, it shows the amount budgeted for Augusta and that we're way below.
And which,
Way below that. The number,
2,
the first one, number 2.
number 2.
We are $17,757 below. So as far as the stuff we still want to do, I would hope the council would say, well, look, they didn't spend some of that money on other things, so they should be able to do.
so you're, how much are we,
Can you find this page? Oh, that's right,
Okay.
that's why it's not.
Yes.
I think what you have to look at the bottom also and say where it says original closeout presentation and look at the date there. And so it may not be our present numbers when you look at the bottom, the very bottom there.
No, it's
What
right.
date, what date is that?
October 25th.
Yeah, but just that Augusta is the part that is way behind on the amount that has been spent, less has been spent there.
Yeah, but that's not the point of this report.
Yes.
We can go over that, yes, in a minute. The point of this Bob's report is the council has to have this report before we can spend any more money.
Okay, so we need to, make a motion to do this.
Well, I have one question.
Go ahead.
Did I miss something? When did the TP get like?
Okay, we have not wiped it, we can buy a smaller TPC right below the 8-foot TP.
Sure.
2,800. We cannot afford the $6,900.
It seemed like we had more than.
I know, but we had some expenses missing
Okay, so those.
over here, yes, so then when we got over
Oh, I was
here,
hoping, because remember we had that one that was in there like 2 times.
Yes,
Okay, so
that's
that
been
was,
corrected.
that was not in our favor.
No, not much, not enough, but we are, see, we still,
Okay.
That would be.
So this part would be the part that, Chair Gilbert was saying would be included with Bob's report. Just this section was already been coded.
invoices paid for
Invoices
closeout
paid.
park items, 261, just that side. See, because they don't wanna look at what we wanna do in the future. They want us to start over, once we get this turned in.
And the total grant amount.
It's 267.
Okay. So, it doesn't look like there's much left, yeah.
Exactly.
That's the point, just spend it all.
It's not gonna be hard.
Basically completes the grant is what it is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we're trying.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Another minute or two for y'all to look at the spreadsheet.
And you said the smaller sheet there,
It's 2,800 as
So that one
opposed to 69. Yeah,
Again.
I'm sorry, back to item 2.
This is what you want to present? to
Yes.
council. So there was.
So I need a motion to accept the liaison report as presented. And submit a recommendation. That's what I will do after if we do this.
I will make that motion. Submit the liaison report.
Thank you, Becky. And do I have a second?
One second.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
And that does include, the coded invoices on that spreadsheet.
Yes.
Thank you.
I think so, or we can just do a show of hands.
I'm sorry, I said the wrong thing.
That's okay. All in agreement to present this report to the city council.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now that we've done that, I see one mistake.
No, but that's
That's
fine.
gonna come up.
That's fine, yeah.
We're talking about this
Yes,
now.
yes, yeah. This is our pay bills. The first part, that's all. And that's what council will see, what we spent the money on, right? Okay. All right, now, number 4 on the regular agenda, let us, talk about the park improvement updates. Becky, if you could just visit with us a little bit about the rain garden activities.
The rain garden is being spearheaded by Claire, as you all know, Claire Palmer, who is a master gardener. They have done what is called solarization, that is covering up with plastic areas where you want all the presently growing things to die, so they can start fresh. Portions of it is a large area, it's not the whole area that's been done. And then planting would be, of course, in the fall when it's cooler. We will need to figure out a way. There was a very small budgeted item that I budgeted originally for seed. And we have that much, I suppose we can give them. But we might need to figure out a way to raise money or something to help them. And also, well, that's really all I'm saying.
Okay, thank you. It's not only that 10 by 10, but she's also got a section over by the water collection area too, right? That she's sterilizing.
Well, it goes all the way from Augusta
Yes.
Drive to Augusta Lane.
Yes.
That whole thing
It's gonna be
is
part
part
of
of
it,
it.
all right.
Yeah,
It's gonna be great.
yeah, it will look great.
Okay, now, I would like us to look at,
Do you want me to go over these 2, 3 points?
I can do the Eagle Scout project, okay? Because I actually have spoken with.
Oh, good.
Travis.
Yes. 3 and 3. Okay.
And I'll have a handout on it too.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. Let's look at our handout number 4. Now. The rainwater collection project has kind of come to a stop. And I have had a very nice conversation with Travis Brown, and I understand things a little better now. Billy got a donation from McCoy's of $500. He, I think, went over there and talked to them himself. Even though, there might have been a little bit of misunderstanding about how we were gonna raise the money for this. It has been brought to my attention from our mayor that the city is willing to help finish this project. We had some money left over from our spectacular event that we did in Holt last year. And I believe up to $1,000 could be added to this. But I just want to read what Travis Brown told me. Okay, the Browns have completed all that can be done with the $500 that McCoy has donated. We have a 500-gallon tank as opposed to a 200-gallon tank, which is terrific. Okay, I've spoken with Travis. He and Billy will now comprise a list of all the remaining items needed, including the siding and paint to cover camouflage, the water tank. And they would then, and so they will get that with costs. And I will need to get from Kathy to get McCoy's a tax exempt certificate from us, so we can do this tax free. They plan also to set up an overflow trough for the wildlife. So in the event the tank ever does fill up, there will be an automatic overflow section that will go out into the field, but it will go into a trough. He's also going to install a hose and a connection for us to water the flower beds.
Oh,
Yes, okay. And we all are very excited about getting this project finished, so are the Browns, so. Yes. Okay. And there is a lot more information, in here also from Justin. Justin has been really good about, interfacing with the Browns. And Cody, they have been over there trying to, help them in any way possible. But I wanted both of our, and you see the pictures here, but there's how they've been doing. So we're looking really good, guys, as a community. And we're gonna have like a mini ladybird.
Yes.
Our state.
It'll be so neat.
Yes, we really are. And once we get to the rest of this. Okay, and now, so that's the report on the rainwater collection. Now, the Monarch Butterfly Waste Station, Tatum has done an amazing job of putting together a presentation for us.
And she is presenting it at the board.
At the city council.
At city council.
Yes. Yes,
This coming, this next week, presented.
probably the 28th
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah.
So she also is concerned about costs, and I really want, and I can get involved in this, and I know some of y'all too, we can go to King Feed and Everly Gardens and see if each of them might, they think maybe $500 for plants. I bet we can convince each of them to give $250.
Well, Women's League Gardens, they live in Wood Creek too, but the owners live in Wood Creek.
Yes, yes, but I'm just saying, we want the whole community to be involved in this. Okay. Here we go. So,
Can you say it?
yes. Do we want someone to read it? I think.
Yeah, it might be better if somebody reads it.
My name is Tatum Davis. I'm an 11th grader at Wimberley High School. I participate in theater and UIL, one act play of the,
At the high school.
at the high school, thank you. Outside of school, I'm in Girl Scouts and have been since 2nd grade. I have been gardening since 2nd grade as part of the garden club at Jacobswell Elementary, and keep my family garden looking good. I am most interested in environmental science and conservation. I'm looking at various colleges now that offer these types of education for my career. So when Becky reached out about creating the Monarch Way Station, that was part of the parks plan, I was absolutely ready to take on this project. As an ambassador of Girl Scout, I choose to make this project my Gold Award project.
Which is equivalent to Eagle Scout.
Isn't this cool?
I know.
For those that do not know, the Gold Award is the highest award in Girl Scout can earn. I plan to see this project through and making the way station a perfect addition to the new garden area at Augusta Farms.
I've been
Nice and short, isn't it?
4 years old, that makes me so.
I know, it isn't that darling? Okay, now here, as you, what is a Monarch Way Station? A Monarch Way Station is a resting, nesting, and feeding place for the monarch butterflies on their migration south of the winter. Monarchs feed off of pollen and nest on certain types of milkweed. Once they make it to, oh my goodness, Olea, Mel, or today, we go closer to keep warm. We've seen those pictures of them all on the trees like this together, yes. Okay. It also helps the monarchs on their migration north for the spring. Wimberley happens to be in the path of the migration. We hear a lot about the monarchs not being as plentiful, so we really want to do this. Okay, so I'm working closely with Wood Creek Parks and Rec Board members to ensure the way station is installed with all the proper regulations being followed within the city. The plan is in addition to the beautification being done at Augusta Park, we are incorporating this section for Monarch Way Station. It will be 10 by 10 raised bed with native and hopefully deer-resistant pollinated plants. Some of the pollinator plants we are planning to put in the garden include butterfly weed, antelope corn, milkweed, lantana, and a few other pollinating, attracting plants. Now, in this diagram map, the monarch is the higher up, isn't it?
Yeah. And she has just, in the last few days, she's put her outline, outlined it with some of those cedar colors.
Oh, wonderful, so she's.
Yeah, very much like this.
Yes,
outline.
yes, those,
in the-
yes, up high.
Yeah, I've seen them walking.
Okay, once this way station is registered, we will get a certificate with the way station ID number for the city to have it on record and a small sign to inform the public of the way station and the importance of it. If funding permits, I would also like to incorporate a small interactive sign that shows the life cycle of the monarch. The small plant identification signs also reveal the different pollinators each plant attracts. And that's something Becky's been very, serious about trying to keep the ones that we have there now.
Yeah.
So we do have some, and look at these beautiful now. I'm not sure that the purple coneflower, I've never, I had the deer eat that. I'd be
Yeah,
about that.
some of those.
Yes, so
That's good.
well, we've got lots of others they can
We
use,
do.
yes,
Okay.
okay. Aren't this darling?
The life cycle one is really neat there.
Don't make me read that one, okay? Okay, sustainability. I plan to continue working with the Wood Creek Parks and Rec Board members and neighborhood volunteers for at least the first year to ensure the structure of the garden, bed, and the plants all established and dry. Okay, the placement of the Monarch Way Station has been decided based on the amount of sunshine and proximity to the rainwater collection tank that is being installed along with input from Master Naturalist and Native Plant Society of Texas. Yes.
And that's what you were looking at.
Yes, that's that map, and it's the, just to the left of the red, that's
Pretty
Mars.
much what she's like.
Yes. Up there it says. Bee fly. Oh, look here. Budget.
She's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, wood for the border. That's three. What is that? I can't read that.
Rebar wire.
Thank you. 30. Cardboard. Oh, we all can contribute that. We mulch. We've got that covered.
We got that.
Soil. Oh, this is what I was talking to, is soil.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out a way to help her with that, and plants, and the way station sign, the Monarch life cycle sign, and the plant identification sign. Well, those are probably not any of the signs that are on our list, are they?
Well, we have more than specific, we do have a specific list, but we have a budgeted amount, we might be
Okay.
a bit more.
Okay, that's right,
To them.
that's right. Actually, I think that was an enthusiastic figure, wasn't it, 8,000 that we thought we should now, spend it, which we didn't really have. Yes, okay, but we'll make sure this happens, yes.
If we're giving the Boy Scouts some funds from that leftover from the canceled spectacular.
We should do the
have to
same.
Do the same. for
Okay.
Boy Scout.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's
We
one
do it
reason,
for one, we should.
we
do-
need the Browns to come back to us with a list of what they need to finish, and then we'll see where we are. Okay, is that it? Do I have to read any more?
Can you read the please note? first?
Okay, oh my
There's a
goodness.
last slide.
Please know that part of this budget is from funds, oh yes, that I have earned through my Girl Scout cookie and fall project sales. Don't we love that? We could help her some more this year, couldn't we? We have applied for grants, but did not, thank you, get them for this project at this time. I will be looking for additional grants, discounts, and coupons to help reduce any cost. Darling. I'd like to meet her.
Yeah, she's great.
Should be
Okay.
Wednesday.
Yeah. she
Oh,
will.
that's right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
and that's
council's probably gonna have something to say about, oh, gas.
Something,
positive.
Positive,
I'm
yeah.
sure they will. Okay. Now,
That 4V, I think is on me. I got my Claire's mixed up.
that's okay, yes, that's Claire Palmer. So,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
okay.
I apologize.
No, that's okay, that's okay. That makes more sense, doesn't it, ma'am? Master naturalist, so that's what Claire's helping us.
Except that
She's not already a master naturalist.
she's a master gardener. It's very hard to get those straight, because they're two different
Yes,
things.
organization.
They're
yes.
similar enough that it's really easy to. But it is, just for everyone's personal knowledge, from the time of the original rain garden and the original grant, from LCRA and PEC, it is a master naturalist project that they can get hours for working.
Okay,
Okay, but so confusing, yeah.
so we need to notify our local, chapter, say like that we're ready to plant.
That would be,
If
yeah,
they would like
and
to.
that's, Linda Lang.
Okay, and learn some hours,
Linda
okay,
Land is the
is the contact.
contact for Project Inwood Creek,
Okay,
which includes the rain garden and taking out invasives and building, trails. And giving talks, I think.
okay, wonderful. Now, B, a status update on park items already ordered. I want to thank Bob for putting together all the benches.
Oh.
Yep,
Thank
Sean.
you.
Which
It's
cost?
not,
Thank you.
okay.
Yes, and, I will admit, I did not think about the ones at the Creekside are aluminum. I hope they won't be too hot. They're very dirty. I want to take a rag and wipe them down, but maybe we'll move those around a little bit. It won't be
I just placed them in there, I didn't
That's fine.
set it.
Anyway, I think they both are great. And that, I believe, is the only thing that we have ordered. And that's on here. Okay,
Man,
yes, Jim.
I don't know, if you talked to Taffy today or not about the plaque for a bench for Mr. or the Rollins sisters.
Mhm.
Taffy just needs to know like what you want, what bench it's going on, whatever, and we'll get that taken care of.
Well, I think they want one at the triangle. So we could
Is
just.
that
put in-
aluminum or is that wood?
No, it's faux wood.
Oh,
but
it's-
Can you
But
do
it's-
it?
Can you screw to it?
Very, yeah, you can.
Okay.
You can screw into it, I think, so, and she may wanna walk up and look and see the width, yes.
Well, we'll go measure.
Approximately
Help me remember, we'll go measure.
3x4, something.
Yes.
Just that way, we can get the size. She, has a couple quotes.
Okay,
We'll get that done.
okay, good. All right, let's move on to item 5. We're going to prioritize the park board members' wish list. Based on the monies remaining. Okay, now. The access. Okay, I'm gonna not worry about Creekside right now, but we are gonna discuss a ramp. We do need a ramp for the gazebo. Bob, would you like to just visit a little bit about that?
Sure.
Because you've done a lot of work on that.
Well, no, I've done some measuring and I have some ideas. Can you put it up on the?
Yeah.
And I looked at a 6 foot versus a 7 foot versus a concrete. I looked at all the possibilities that we have. We could do a wood ramp. That wouldn't last very long, most likely.
I can get it shared.
This one is extremely cost effective, ADA compliant for the website that I looked at. It's called the Gateway 3G. And when you look at this, one of the requirements is that you have 1 inch fall per foot. So when you look at that, if we look at where the opening is right now, we need a 10-foot ramp because it's 10 inches high. However, if we go into the other side, the exact opposite side, it's only 6 to 7 inches max. This is, I've inspected the gazebo and, it is extremely modular. Meaning that with about 8 screws, I can have one side off, put it on the other side. Now we have the availability on the far west side of the
Which
gazebo.
might be closer to the parking too, the
Yeah.
street and everything.
It is. So, a 7-foot ramp, which is the bottom one, is, $1,042.99. Compare that to something, I talked to Jared New, and he told me that he could do it for around $2,400.
Is that concrete or wood?
That'd be concrete,
Okay.
but that would take up the rest of the money that we have if we were to do that as well.
Yes.
This one is free shipping, no tax because of our tax-free status. It would cost us $1,042.99.
Is it steel,
It's aluminum.
aluminum too?
It's got, I show you, you can,
Does it get real hot?
it could get hot, but it's primarily there for people who are,
Not,
yes, it's not gonna affect them that much and only for a few months as far as that's concerned. It's 36 inches wide. The whole opening there is 90 inches. So we have quite a bit of space left for pedestrians to walk on the rest of it.
Okay, so we didn't put it to one side.
Being a good one thing, I mean,
Go ahead.
well, I thought that, Pat Rollins' vision was, possibly have, events there and concerts. And so is there enough space on the other side that chairs, you would be entering the gazebo from the opposite side, correct?
Yes.
So is there enough space on that side, to have chairs and people in audience?
Well,
That's
it's-
actually the shady side.
It's
It's
actually,
the shade side and it makes the sun go down, yeah, and your sun would be to your back. That's all good. I'm just asking the question whether there is actually enough space for an audience. I don't know, because
it's
I
the
have-
same size. The size doesn't change.
no, not the size and the space, you know, there is more ground. There's more ground in front of the triangle facing the way it is now than there is to triangle facing the other way. So if everyone was bringing their lawn chairs to watch a presentation, that would that be considered the front of the?
I think you could put the chairs on any side you want.
You could, and I think a presentation or a musical group wouldn't have to have that open space.
Okay.
Yeah,
there's
I mean,
just a
it's
railing,
something
not
that-
Yeah.
The thought that came to mind.
Yeah, I can see one.
I thought the same thing, and I looked at it and thought, it's this tall, the railing.
Mhm.
So you'd be able to see everybody, plus there's area between, where the railing is, so you can still see below it as well.
Mhm.
And I think structurally it needs to have however, I mean, I think it's a total of 5. And
Yes, we
one
could
side-
just take 2 off. Yeah, I think you need just to move it to the other side to structurally, yes.
And one of the bench would also go to the other side as well, and, it's either a T20 or something like that, or it's, just regular screws. It's very, very easy to
Okay.
do.
It's modular, like you said.
It is,
I think
90
you can
inches.
just reuse the screws.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
we just decided to put that opening, you know, so that was up to us, so,
right.
yeah. Unless we wanted.
Could you leave both sides open?
Well, I don't know, but what I'm thinking of is it structurally okay to leave?
I could contact the company.
Okay,
Shall I do that?
you could,
Yeah.
yes.
That would be ideal.
Yes.
But using the west side as that particular opening would be good as far as the height of the ramp. Otherwise, it has to be a 10-foot ramp, and it's much more expensive.
Right.
This one, if you look at it, has rails on both sides, and it also has one that has almost like pickets, but we don't need pickets. We just need this so that somebody who's going down can be as safe as possible as they're going up or down the ramp.
Yeah.
And and this is the design I like. If you'd like to see others, there are others, but I think this one is the most cost effective, and sometimes simpler is better than all the other things that you
Maybe
can
there
get.
was some chance around it.
It only has about this much exposure between the bottom of the ramp and
Yeah, that runs at 6 inches, right? Is
Yeah.
from ground to.
7
7
inches.
inches.
If we,
Okay. All right, now let's move to our wish list. Which is this brown section of the spreadsheet. So we could have ordered a 12-foot tall TV or an 8-foot tall TV. Now, the TV's packages come with the wooden segments that would, you know, go between the struts, and we can we can cut them as open as we want, or, you know, make some of it solid. But, the 8-foot TP is, I think, what do y'all think, adequate for our little ones? We just can't really afford the other.
I haven't even seen it, so
Oh.
I don't know what it looks like or anything, so it's hard for me to have yeah, but you.
Yes,
I'll do it.
You've done this the last 2 meetings.
yes, they are, so the one on the left is the smaller.
Sure, kids love small tiny spaces.
Yes.
Is this bolted into the ground or anything?
It's, there's a system, yes, you know, like, you need so much flat space, but we'll get all that.
No, I mean, I have this little TP tent that opens up, you know, put it in the corner and I couldn't even
That
put it away.
fall, yeah,
Yeah, that was used for a long, long time until
Yes.
they were about 8.
yes.
I think it says on there the age, I think it's age appropriate for each of the two.
It says, okay, years.
And
Yeah.
the bigger one, I think, says up.
12,
Yeah.
yeah. So if y'all would agree to substitute the 8-foot TV, or.
You know, and
if
that's
you don't like it.
I'm just gonna tell you too, that I just said, I got rid of that because now if we go to the park, we don't go to the playground park, we go to the one to play ping pong or bocce ball.
Mhm.
And because they're 8 and older, so I don't even think we need the large ones. The
Yeah.
little ones are the ones that like to go in these tents and. play
Yes,
ping pong.
and
The
it's
older
going
ones
to
want to
be,
play games.
exactly, there with the, loose bits, and the, bamboo sticks, so. But I do want to bring up one other thing that we thought about. Just due to the heat and the dryness, do we really need right now to do the magnifying station? Do you think, Becky, is there any concern about fire with that?
I would put it in the shade.
Yes, but children, is there such a thing as full shade always over there?
Yeah, I think so. When you're back in that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I was just trying to find things that
Oh,
was
sure,
interesting to have.
sure.
Not
that was just the only thing I thought
what
about,
other people think.
yes.
But is it something that you carry around and move?
No, it's a magnifier that's attached to a piece of wood,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
now attached to the ground, right?
It's on a post. And
Yes.
here's the post and the magnifier comes
And
up
then-
this
and then-
way. And you hold stuff under it. You don't move it around.
Okay.
You hold
It
stuff
seems
under
kind of cool, but, I think you had to do a little more research on what they.
Well, and I, I guess even mulch will catch on fire, I was thinking, okay.
And if it has any extra rocks.
Oh,
you need to put that
shade.
in there.
Oh, rock, yes, and total shade,
Yeah, and rock underneath it.
okay.
It wouldn't catch on.
So we have the sunshade triangle. I don't know exactly what size that is, do you remember, Becky?
No, I wrote it on.
Yeah.
14 by 14 by 14.
Oh, gosh, that's wonderful.
To go over the
Oh,
loose parts
yes,
play area
yes.
and the magnifying station.
Yes. And then the attachment set. The xylophone, the bell tree, tea tree, and then, okay, go ahead.
Could I please point out something? When I sent these to Kathy, I put that $45 xylophone bell tree as an alternate to the $250 wind chime, $257 wind chime. That's a little further down.
Mm-hmm.
So we
We don't
want to
need both.
decide between those two.
Well, I vote for the xylophone over the wind chime thing.
Is the wind chimes playable? Are those playable?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
they're,
The giant ones, right?
they're
That
big.
you,
The xylophone is 12 inches.
it's very small.
And you have to get yourself a mounting post, or it could be on a tree, I suppose. It's quite small.
Oh, yeah, then you have a problem with the thing being tied to him, whether that means he's gonna walk away. Yeah,
The dinger.
the thing.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, after being a children's librarian, I think about these kind of things.
Sure,
Things will
sure.
disappear.
Things are- Yes.
But we don't need both, I mean, they're both, they serve the
So
same
what,
purpose.
what is the situation with the wind chimes? Is that on a cord that they can?
I want to say, these are both from the same company, so
Yes.
they would be easy to look up. I want to say has a, no, I'm sorry, it's not, the wind chime was, I found on Etsy. Not the wind chime, the xylophone. It has a cord at the bottom, a cord at the top, and you have to put a post in the ground, or you put it on the tree, and then you affix those two cords.
Okay. You just hang it off the,
Hang
and then they
At
take
the
it off.
top and, nope, it hangs at the top and at the bottom,
Oh,
and you would attach your mallet
okay, to that.
on
Okay,
a
okay,
cord
there's a mallet.
Don't they have one of those at Emily Ann?
That's what I was trying to think.
MIN has a big,
Yeah.
big music station, it's mostly handmade
Yeah,
DIY stuff.
I can't think of them having.
That one.
That particular
Okay.
one.
But I've seen those before, so I haven't been there a while, I could be wrong, they've got all the, like, old wheels and.
Oh, they have it all, don't they?
It's really cool.
But I love that idea of having the wind chimes like that.
Uh-huh.
I wish you had
Okay.
pictures.
So shall we eliminate the $45 one?
And what do you all think? Would you rather go, the big one is nothing but fairly large wind chimes.
Now, Do you think it's gonna bother the neighbors? No, of course, the kids will be home at night. I mean, it's sort of like Creekside, they don't play those late at night.
I don't think so.
Okay.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, and you know, it's not a real disturbing sound.
No, I know
It's kind of gentle and nice.
Okay.
So
I mean,
And you're not, you know, it's a little different in Creekside where there's someone right next to it. You at least have a little bit of.
yes, more space.
So you think eliminate the xylophone?
Yeah.
I think I might buy that xylophone for my backyard.
And is that one thing, Bell Street and Mella?
That's all one thing.
Okay, so let's eliminate that and we'll go down, we'll go with
Keep the bigger.
the bigger one.
Okay.
And the magnifying station, and we'll just make that work.
The other thing on the magnifying station, if we're desperate to save money, I don't know. Cody put in the price for the full works, the posts and all the mounting parts. The magnifying piece is like $50 or something,
Oh.
but we would then have to go buy the other, so maybe we should just stick with
Yeah,
that. I was surprised at how much that was.
I mean, if we're lucky, it won't be that much, but it's better to put it more
Yeah.
in the budget.
Okay. All right, and then the bamboo poles and the, are the loose bits in here?
The blocks are there,
Mhm.
right before the bamboo pole.
Oh, thank you, yes, I really want those. Okay. Okay, and then your signs. So Native Plant Society, which is one of the signs that Tatum was talking about, right? Or is it different?
Hers is the way station.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like it is.
okay. Okay, and the educational signs are the identifiers for the plan, so,
Are really for several different things
okay.
that,
Okay. Now, so if we add $1,000, say $1,050, do we have any idea about the fountain, the water fountain? Has anybody hazarded a guess on putting that thing in?
Oh, we have it, we just haven't been able to put it in.
We have to,
Right.
So Jim, we're down to only needing a concrete pad, it looks like, to mount that on.
yeah, well, but you have to do all that other stuff
Yeah,
first,
and I was
underground.
I talked to you, Cody, or, you know, whatever that was, whatever the drain situation
Yeah.
is, how we'll best do that. I will say next week, we'll probably be hiring our, land maintenance guy. And we can probably get him to do that, pretty reasonable.
Yes.
I don't wanna,
It's a couple of,
Yeah.
that's a ready creek
Right.
basically, using a wheelbarrow,
But
and then the plumbing parts.
to me, it was the plumbing part that
Yeah,
was
the
a little
plumbing part.
mysterious to me.
and then, you know, where that, it's not gonna have a ton of water in it.
Yeah.
We talked about a couple options, maybe if you know, piped it over to the flower bed to, you know, or we could dig a hole, for lack of a better term, a mini.
Stone pit. basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
still
rocks and, yeah,
Because
Mini
it's gonna
septic,
be very
you
fast
know,
with water.
just kinda-
yes,
just to go
it'll
with
just
it.
soak into the ground,
Right,
don't you feel?
so,
I'd like to keep this as simple as possible because,
Yeah, and it's independent, actually, what we have currently for water supply would remain there, and we go off of that with a
Just has to
T
be
over to the, yeah.
replumbed, yeah,
it's just, I was
and
looking
that pipe
at,
will go away, right?
No, that pipe, they still have, I believe it doesn't matter, but I believe that we leave the faucets in place
Oh, okay,
and just put a T on it to go to the fountain.
that's the only faucet on at the triangle?
Yes.
Okay, well, we need that, yes.
so, just
Okay.
because the drain, everything's hidden inside and it just comes out the bottom, right?
Yeah,
So we would need the plumber to do his
We
thing
have a
before
pet-
it's poured concrete.
We have a pet water and then we have above it for your water bottles.
Yeah.
That's a perfect. Yeah, it's a nice, it's gonna be nice, if we ever.
So we'll get it will happen.
We can just kind of get the plan.
yeah,
We
we have the plans, yes.
Yeah,
As far as-
Bob has the instructions
Okay.
for
I know we have the instructions, but as far as like the water, the pit,
Oh, yeah,
and we can present that to our land maintenance guy and get a bid from him,
right,
which may be the most economical because we're expecting better pricing, being our guy.
Yeah.
That, I would think it would be I don't wanna say minimal, but fairly inexpensive. But I'm not gonna quote.
I know.
I would say excluding the plumber, maybe a couple $100, I guess, so. But,
So maybe 400, you think, 400 to 500 for the whole project?
Good installation.
The slab should be like a brainless for it.
It's basically
yeah,
It's
1.5 feet by 2 feet or
it's
so.
right out there already.
It's already framed, it's
You
being
just need
left
to
up.
get
Oh,
the drain in before we pour concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, let's put $500 down, that's be generous.
No, and he could do, he could price out the installation of the water fountain as well. I mean, that may be,
I wanted both, I wanted to do both. I
Yeah,
wanted
that
to
way-
do the concrete and the, yeah.
yeah,
Let's
there's,
go do this thing where we got separate people because they can't come until this guy comes and then, it's like.
and I'm not sure his plumbing ability. I mean, he
Okay.
might be able to do the water hookup, I don't know. He's pretty good. But I don't know,
Hardest part is finding the shut off.
yeah,
Once you know where the shut off is, the rest of it.
I mean, it's not that hard, it's just, I don't, as a city, do we need a certified plumber to do it? I mean, that,
So we have plenty of plumbers. I mean, we have, Wimberley Plumbing, it's easy to find a plumber, but it's just a cost.
yeah.
Well, Wimberley Plumbers great.
Okay, all right, let's hurry on now. Okay, now, okay, let me just look at this. So. Then if we added, say, another, let's say $1,600 to this bottom figure.
Then you still have some money left.
Ooh, we're getting close. Okay, now let me explain one other thing. Gloria Whitehead is not, okay, there was some misunderstanding there. It was just a general discussion at the time. Pat was, I think, selling, the donation that she is not going to be able to do it either. So, but if anybody else would like to donate a bench, we're certainly receptive of that. But so right now, I think we're at $1,000
At one.
at one
Yes.
donation, yes.
Now, you were saying adding $1,100 to the,
It's 1,600. So if we added 1,050, and then we estimated 500 for the install everything for the fountain,
So it's 1,500.
so $5,725.
If I could just mention, you took the magnifying station, not that one, you took the educational play area out, it was
Oh,
$45.
thank you.
So you're right around $1,500.
More dollars, yes.
so $1,500 is spent. What's I'm sorry, what's
The ramp?
Put it on
The
that.
yellow,
Okay, the
ramp.
ramp or the triangle gazebo,
Okay,
and then, so say we take out, so it's
So
1,000.
that's 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that out of the 2,200 that we had, that was 1%?
So it looks to me, so we have 1,000,
yeah.
yes.
The only
okay.
kicker unknown is when the, engineering firm comes back with any ADA things that we missed.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
but we may have to postpone those to next year.
And I'm not speaking for council, but I think there's been a little bit of talk that even if we run out, we may be able to, council may be able
The
to.
council said they would help with the
Yeah.
rainwater collection. But, I think we felt that the ADA ramps at Creekside were, what's the word? Fulfilling our adequate for our ADA.
That's what we hope he comes back with.
And then we're adding the new ramp, the triangle,
One was for the,
all that
the,
stuff.
all
We
three.
have just the ADA to the bocce ball court and around the corner they can come, but I'm not sure how that's ever gonna be ADA.
It's a walking area.
Right.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's coming up with, but just,
And I don't know the philosophy of the government when they think it is everything's supposed to be ADA compliant.
let's, kind of roll we'll carry through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
But just, I just want to keep in mind, just in case.
now they'll be here next week?
I don't know if he'll have his report to us.
No, but he'll probably give you some ideas.
I can definitely find out.
Okay.
So
All right,
that-
we'll just deal, because we can't do any of this till the COSAC, the first part is given to council and they sign off on all of that. So we will wait on ordering any of this, probably until next month.
Okay, so for item 6, you can say, table
Yes,
item number 6 until the next regular part.
yes, let's table our wish list, until next month.
Now,
September,
if we do all that, then that means we don't buy the ramp too.
that's
So
right, we have to wait.
we just want to hold off.
Yes, okay, but we know what we need, and, actually, I guess we can't do that without our board approving it, right?
To do that.
Like, even if the city council said, okay, you're now got the green light to go ahead with your wish list,
Council won't be voting on it
they won't.
now.
Oh, that's right, then the wish list has to go to them. Thank you.
It probably takes so long to get anything done.
Yes, it does, but we're right there, we've got the list.
Good, so the wish list will go to them, not at this next meeting, but
Then the next,
one.
and it's that early September one, if everything is good on that.
So we agree on what we should say.
Yes, you need to vote on.
Yeah.
Okay, do I have a motion, to approve, the wish list as discussed
And modify.
and modified?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Monica. Do I have a second?
Sure.
Elizabeth will second.
I think we're both fine.
Okay, so Suzanne, you're pretty clear kind of on what we're gonna need.
So what you would want to do, the motion is to approve the wish list as discussed and modified and make a recommendation at,
Okay, but we still don't really have a cost on the fountain.
yeah,
Right.
so you might want to,
We will have,
No, we don't want to put that out, but we need to move forward on this.
okay,
I would think.
I think we can afford them, even a little bit more for the fountain. Help me with that, Suzanne, look at this for a minute.
I'm sorry.
So right now, so we had 6,300.
Your total cost, if you did the water fountain slab and the installation and the ramp, adding that 1,600 and then taking off that 45, you have $677 left.
Okay,
So we ought to just keep that.
well, yeah, and that may have to go to the fountain.
Yeah,
So that we added into the 500.
Yes, yes,
And if we don't spend that much, all good.
yes, yes.
And that way we could go ahead and approve, have this motion and with us saying that close it. Don't you?
I think so. But we will have, Suzanne, redo this wish list, so then we can present it to council after we get this part. Okay? All right, so we have a motion, Elizabeth is second. Let's show us, a show of hands, of all in favor of accepting the wish list.
You want it brought back into your next meeting?
Yes, we will, yes,
Do you want me to add?
Yes. yes.
Okay.
Item number 7. I have not done any action on spectacular. I've been out of town. Becky, did you get a chance to buy any candy? That's okay. We will now,
Still be there.
we will now begin, apparently there are some bins over here in the storeroom that I need to go. And I will get here over here next week.
Because we should have some candy left on that we didn't use last time.
I thought we gave it all away to the.
We ate it all.
Oh,
I think
Yeah,
we.
it was in a big ball up here. for-
Yeah.
That's a
Because
big
you
bowl.
get us, it's gone.
That's a big goal, but there is apparently some bins here. So next week, when it's not quite over 100, I'll come up after 10 and go through we'll open the bins and see what surprises we have, and then we'll start ordering, okay? Because it's easy.
that's easy.
yeah, bags, candy, little treats. Cody was talking about possibly ordering 2 additional like game stations from the inflatable company, which would help our homemade games be a little bit more, maybe, interesting for our children. So I thought maybe I could go over there with him, or he can decide, because he has kids, you know.
Uh-huh,
And so I think I want to see what he comes up with for there.
okay.
But, so, well, we know. Okay, let's see here. We know that the golf course has graciously given us permission to hold it in the same location that
Oh,
we have.
good,
Yes, that J&J has approved that.
okay.
And, the hours of the event is 5 to 7, that's what it's always been. It's October, so it's already,
Yes, then you get.
yes, getting dark, okay, 5 to 7.
What is the date?
It's, the,
26.
yeah, here, 26, it's before, yes. Before, it's right there, yes. It's before Halloween,
Okay,
so, which Halloween, I guess, is the middle of Thursday, I guess.
yeah, Halloween is the first,
Yes.
Thursday.
Okay. And the activities, we're working on that. Okay. To be determined at a later date. But it'll be pretty much the same,
Okay.
okay? Do y'all have any other, I also talked to the golf course and Uncle back up there about them having a drink station and, oh, hot dogs.
Yes, they had hot dogs
Hot
last
dogs.
year. I did hot dogs and chips.
Yeah.
And that's really nice for the parents.
Parents
because then
that
they
feed
have-
the kids while they're all there too.
Yes.
Okay, so I will try to get back up there and talk to somebody about making sure that they know we want that.
Yeah.
And I think they'll just bring, like they have a cart and they have sodas and beer and stuff that they drive around the course anyway.
Yeah.
With that.
They did that last year. They set up a little canopy and they sold them. Yeah, and they do,
Okay.
it's really nice right on that corner.
Okay,
So it's really nice to do that.
yes, I'd like them to, you know.
Yeah, I think
I
that's.
think it's fun for the families and, yeah, makes it easier. Okay,
If you need any help with that, I can do it, so.
okay. Maybe you and I can go there together. I just want them to know, we'd like them to, benefit
Yeah.
from being generous with us, and we'd like them to make some money off of this too. Okay.
Yeah.
That would be great. Okay.
And if you need any help in the shed, it's usually here at 8:30, so if you know,
Okay. Oh, you're better.
yeah, just text me or whatever. I'll meet you up here and we'll dig it up.
Okay, thank you, and open it up.
Yeah,
I'll take it all home.
Yeah.
Give it to Becky.
stored at her house.
Okay, does anybody else have anything else they would like to bring up?
I'm glad we're doing it the same.
Yes, do we need to start thinking about volunteers? I noticed that Pat Rawlings did a lot of stuff and he's not here.
Yes,
So,
well, we are going to delegate all Pat's activities to the rest of us. We
Okay,
have 2 other men now, we have Jim, you
okay,
know, and, Cody, of course, says he'll do everything he always does, which is, you know, a lot of it. And, if we're not having to come up with quite so many volunteers to man the games, which we will still need an adult there, it will be pretty simple.
Yeah.
We'll get the bags together,
yeah,
and then we'll have, like, you know, we're gonna have our, golf cart parade.
I know,
Decorated.
that's really
That's such
fun.
fun, yeah. And then the awards and contests, and we'll try to come up with something simple but fun for awards.
Yeah, and John Odell he'll be there.
Okay, good, all right.
I think he's already
him.
talked about it.
Oh, good, because I do not know him, so I'd love it if someone could make sure.
I'll
He
make
has
sure.
this, maybe this date on his
I
calendar.
think he probably does, but I'll check with him.
The one thing I always need help is we need judges. But so that's something that we just usually have 3 people to be judges at the triangle. And
Oh, if I go by,
Yeah.
oh, we'll find 2 people who wanna do that.
Yes.
That'll be easy.
so those
Yeah.
are some of the simple things. And then the rest of it is in my packet, which I'll have it.
I know,
Yeah.
very organized. Every time.
Here's my
Impressed.
little binder, you know, right here. So, okay, and it will be about 3,000, probably something like that. Now, do I need to get permission to start ordering things? Okay. May I have a motion that the Parks Board begin ordering, handy bags, everything that's needed to have a happy spectacular this year?
I make such a motion.
Okay, do I have a second? Ms. Whitfield? All in favor? Raise your hand. Unanimously. Yes.
Excuse me, did you have a number amount on that?
Should, yeah.
She said 3,000.
Well, 3,000 was our budget. It's been right about 3. And sometimes we don't even spend that much. That's what it's been since 2022. The most expensive thing are the inflatables, the rest of it is very minimal. We have to decide if we want to do the hay bales again, which we'll talk about later, and
Yeah, it's just obvious we still have.
I know.
Also, I
Yes.
think we might have talked about the other day, you still have a little bit of funds left
Uh,
that you can spend through September, that's left in your account. I have to go back and get the exact balance
For the parks activities,
for the parks activities.
Okay.
Not for the
Not for
parks
that.
activities.
okay?
So there's a little bit of money left for this year.
How much do you think that little bit is?
We looked at it last night, but, I can answer that.
So normally, I just charge everything and we go.
Well, that's what I'm saying, we can, before the end of September,
Yes,
because once it's gone, once October comes, you don't get it back.
yes.
So what you can spend now,
If you'll let me know, Jim,
yes,
Becky and I will do our best to
Yeah.
spend it.
if you're like my wife, you won't have any
No,
problems.
we don't, because it's really so much fun to
Right.
order those eyeballs that bounce and the things that the children like, so.
Jim,
All right.
did you want to, I'm sorry, did you want to do an amendment to that, not to exceed the remaining monies in the 2023 account? Something
Well,
like that?
I can, after
When she talked-
October, then I could go back to our new year, 24, I guess. 25.
Not having been here last spectacular, or has that money already been approved?
Actually, hold it, that, council made a motion in December of last year to apply the unused spectacular monies to that Eagle Scout
Eagle
project.
Scout.
Yes, but I also told Jeff I had what my budget would be for spectacular when he was talking about the new budget.
Uh-huh.
But we have a spectacular budget every year, additional every year.
Well, I
It
guess
should be about 3.
She might be talking about this year's that, maybe I overspoke, maybe.
No,
I don't-
because of the spectacular money she's talking about is 23 money.
Yes,
Well, that's what I mean, that's
Yes.
23 months.
Yes.
but that's
So we
before
got-
September,
Yes.
that's before September 30th, that's
Yes, but for
20.
24, I should have a budget also.
Yes.
So that should be right around 3. So I think we're fine. I guess we should look at the budget.
Yeah, I didn't want to go against council's motion in applying those 23 monies to that Boy Scout
Oh,
project.
yes, but, I see what you're saying.
They'd have to reconsider their motion and update it to,
But I think really those, then what we need to look at is, do I have a budget for spectacular for this year?
For our current year.
Yes.
That's what we can.
that's what we're,
We'll
yeah,
verify.
but
I thought that was the 23 money is what y'all were talking about. Well, now
that's what I'm talking about.
Yes, but the 24, not the rest of this year and next year, but this year's 24
Correct.
budget.
We're not talking, yes.
Okay.
The 24 budget starts October 1st.
Oh, okay. Well, then this money you're talking about is really the 2022?
No, 2023.
Our year ends in a month. In the
I understand that, but we didn't have a spectacular last year, right?
Right, and then council made that
And we
motion.
had a $3,000 budget
But
last
that's
year.
been assigned to,
That's been assigned to Boy Scouts.
No, only 1,000.
but then we want to match the Girl Scout.
That was
Girl Scout match.
But they may not need 1,000 to finish it.
Yeah, and there's still 1,000 left there. You said-
Yes.
Even if you
Yeah.
give those 2,000s away,
I should have at least another 1,000.
and start spending money.
Chair Gilbert,
Yeah.
council did not assign a dollar in their official motion.
Okay,
They said unallocated spectacular funds.
okay.
So if that's been changed, then council needs to revisit that and change that to assign it a dollar amount.
I guess we need to ask them to tell me.
But it would help too, once the young man doing the rainwater project
Comes
gives
to
a,
with the budget.
with a budget amount, yeah, what he needs. So even though you've passed this motion already, you can hold off on doing anything until you hear back from that young man.
And I'm saying the spectacular budget should be different from
Because that's.
any of this other,
Yeah.
and the last spectacular that was canceled, they designated some of that money.
As of now, all of it's designated to help with unused
Yeah,
spectacular
project.
funds.
We don't really need the unused spectacular funds, we just need our new spectacular budget.
Mhm.
But then that means you wouldn't be able to buy anything until October first.
Well, I tell you what, though, I can buy it and you can reimburse
That's
me.
right, we can save our receipts.
Exactly. Yeah, that's slippery slope, okay.
That's a slippery slope, and I didn't hear you.
Okay. Well, Diane, you can't wait to. Okay, all right. So we will start a list of the items that we would like to order for spectacular, but I would like to know, why. Okay, we'll just start a list. And we'll wait to hear back from the Browns about the additional.
Do you want to make an amendment saying that, amending that motion to say you're gonna start a list instead of ordering until you hear back from Mr. Brown on what he's gonna need out of last year's funds?
Or just until we know what our spectacular budget.
Yeah, so you really know what's
what
going
it
on.
needs to say,
That's
until we know what's gonna be allotted.
Well, we know it's at least, it's 3,500 this one, I need it, because last year it was 34, I thought, but, we'll see. Okay, let's amend that. I'd like to amend the prior motion to, we will begin looking at what we want to order for spectacular.
Okay.
Do I have a second for that amendment?
Right.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you, I'm sorry.
That's okay, no, I understand what you're trying to do, what you're doing. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay,
Thank you, ladies.
oh, yes, I think, I will now adjourn our meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
We're having ours.